So what I want you to do is I want you to take an inventory of your days. I want you to take an inventory of your weeks if you can, and basically just take an inventory of your life and the things that you do on a daily basis, right? So go through, take, an hour if you have to, and this seems like it's a stupid step. It seems like it's not necessary, but I guarantee you, this is like setting the sail of your sail ship all over again. If you write down the things and you take inventory of the things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, and then you grade them like I'm going to talk about here in a second, it will basically give you direction on what to basically eliminate more of if you can. I'm not saying eliminate them altogether if you enjoy them, but it will give you an idea of exactly what's holding you back from being successful and what's adding to your success. Obviously, you want to keep it simple. You want to do more of what's adding to your success and less of what is keeping you and holding you back from being successful. So what do I mean by this? What are some examples of things that I do on a day-to-day basis? If we took inventory of things that I do. Well, I create video content. So we'll put videos up here. I also answer emails, right? I also, I post on social media. So we'll say post. I post once a day. I also, what are other things I do? I read. I'll do cardio if I'm over my cows and I'm trying to burn fat, or I'm trying to lean out for summer. Currently it's about the beginning / middle of April, so I'm slowly on a micro cut. I'm trying to lean out for summer, so I'll do more cardio. And these are all examples of things that I do, but obviously I would take 20 minutes to an hour and go through it and really think about everything that I do on a day-to-day basis. For you, a lot of you might do this one, right? Video games. A lot of you might do this one. TV. And there's nothing wrong with some of these things in moderation. Some of you also might drink alcohol. I don't even know how to spell alcohol. I want to say it's like that. I'm not even sure. But some of you might drink alcohol. So these are examples of all things that you could potentially do on a day-to-day basis or on a weekly basis. Everything that you do, take inventory of it. Then what I want you to do is, we already talked about your goals and setting your goals. That was why that was the first step. Even if you think it's stupid, it's important. And the reason it's important is because what you want to do now is you don't just want to say, oh, this is not productive. Oh, this is not productive. Oh, this is productive. This is productive. No, what you want to do is you want to assign a number 1 through 10 of, 10 being the most relevant and 1 being the least relevant and least productive to your goals. So my specific goals is I'm trying to build a content business. I'm trying to build a content empire that grosses, X amount, that does this, that does that. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to assign numbers to these and basically say how relevant, how productive is performing each one of these tasks on a day-to-day basis. How close is it and relevant is it to bringing me to my end game, to my goal, to what I'm actually trying to do in my business in a day-to-day basis. So videos would probably be a 9 or a 10, right? Because I can't create a content business without videos. So we're going to say a 9.5 there. Now, emails. Yes, I have to. One of the things that I've been focusing on a lot is providing extra value to my customers or my audience or whatever. So emails could be important, right? But in the grand scheme of things, a lot of them waste my time. So I'm not saying don't answer emails. I'm not saying I don't answer emails. But what I'm going to say is I'm going to put a low score on this because it's not that valuable. I could go the rest of my business and not answer emails and still produce a lot of videos and grow my content business, right? So what I'm trying to say is emails might be like a 3. They're important, but they're not really that important in the grand scheme of things. I don't need to be answering emails, and they're more of a distraction than anything else. Now, posting. I have also deemed this is slightly important because it generates traffic, it helps me grow on social media, and it brings more leads into my business, right? And also gives me social proof. Now, but it's not that important. So I'm going to give this another 3. It's somewhat important, but it's not that important. Now, this one might rub some people the wrong way, and I love reading. I love reading. I always unwind at the end of the night, or I used to start my days with reading. I don't start them anymore with reading, but I always like to unwind a lot of the time with reading. And I love reading. I'm one of the world's biggest proponents of reading. I attribute a lot of it to where I am today. That said, even though I love reading and I think it's very, very, very valuable, if I'm grading it on a scale based on what is relevant and helps me produce for my business, it's important because it gives me different mindset tactics and it gives me different business approaches depending on what books I'm reading. But it's not like a 9.5. It's not all the way up to my goals for a business. And maybe this is the same for you. So I'm going to give it a 4. It's not that relevant. We'll put some brackets around it so we can decipher. I'm going to give reading a 4, right? It's not that relevant. Now, cardio's maybe like a 2, because yes, I think physical health is very, very important, but it doesn't, bring me to my content business. Video games is probably 1, TV's a 1, and alcohol, we're going to say, is a 0. Okay, so you need to have some leisure every once in a while. Maybe you like your occasional beer or whatever. You need to watch occasional TV, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I choose YouTube videos. I get it. So, but these things, what I'm trying to say is you need to eliminate some of the things that once you take inventory and you assign numbers as to how they are in relation to your business goals and where you want to go, then that gives you the option. It gives you direction. It says, you know what? I know that every time I play a video game, it's really detracting from my goals. And that gives you a very different outlook and perspective. It's not saying, hey, I don't want to have any leisure or enjoy any activities from time to time or have a break. But what will happen, the more you do this and the more you recognize this and the more you assign numbers to this, is you're going to start feeling guilty when you play video games. Right? You're going to start thinking, and when you're playing video games, you're not going to enjoy that video game, I promise you, as much anymore if you're serious about growing your business and you really want to succeed. The reason being is you're going to start playing a video game and it's not going to be that fun for you because you're going to be feeling guilty the entire time, knowing that every minute you spend on your video game is detracting from your goals and your business. And yes, remember that PowerPoint that we created? It's also taking away from your little sister's car. It's also taking away from what you provide for your potential future wife or girlfriend or whatever. It's also taking away from your parents' retirement fund or whatever that is. So you're going to start feeling guilty, and it will by default make you more productive. So this is a simple lesson. It's a simple trick, but I recommend, this is something I learned from some of the top people in the industry, and one thing I learned from Sam Ovens as well. Take inventory of your days, take inventory of everything that you do on a weekly basis, and assign numbers relevant to where you want to be and what those actually correspond with. So, and then obviously I might focus on reading for like 20 minutes a day, posting once a day in the beginning of the day, because that might take me 10 minutes. Focusing on emails at the end of the day when I don't need a lot of mental capacity to answer questions. Maybe that takes me 30 minutes. And then guess what? For about 10 hours a day, or maybe 8 hours a day, or 5 hours a day, whatever you're working and whatever you have available, I'm going to work on videos, because that is clearly what produces the most traction for my content business. Hence why I'm doing it right now. So I hope you guys like this. This is important stuff, and it really, really, really will help you mindset-wise and identify what is going to make you successful so you can replicate more of that.